Hi everyone, due to some circumstances, I'm going to be the voice in today's video. Thanks for your understanding. At least once in a lifetime, everyone finds themselves in a completely ridiculous situation. Moments when you are so close to success, but bad luck crosses your path and at the last moment, alas. This is quite common in theater or on sports fields. After all, hundreds or even thousands of spectators will witness and maybe even film your failure. Today, we're going to talk about bad luck in sports. Let's get it on. Sometimes uncomfortable situations are caused by the athletes themselves. Other times, it's due to certain external factors. In this case, the Irish Angus Meldon lost an 800-meter race at the Irish University Indoor Championship. The reason for this was a rubber band that accidentally flew out from a pole vault event.
DCU in seconds. Paul Pepper. It's neck and neck. Oh my God, neck and neck. Ginny Mac. We have the bloody pole from
The athlete was ahead for most of the race, but the piece of band wrapped around his legs near the finish line. Fortunately, it was only the semifinal, and Meldon moved on to the next round of the competition and didn't take it too seriously. But the funniest thing in this situation was the reaction of the commentator, who was more surprised than the runner himself.
He was tied up. Like Spider-Man threw something at him. Spider-Man attacked him.
For many, Stephan is the author of the most epic fail in NHL history. But not because he's a bad athlete, he was seen as a world-class player with a great future. Stephan was considered one of the most promising hockey players in the world and was #1 overall pick in the NHL draft in 1999. But turned out he wasn't as great as the coaches and fans believed him to be. In 2007, he made an incredibly and utterly absurd mistake that ruined his career. Stephan approached the empty goal of the opposing team and had the opportunity to send the puck directly into the net. That would have been his second goal and the chance to become the best player of the match, but Stephan failed.
Stephan steals and he'll ice it. Oh, at least I thought he was gonna until he blew it.
Everyone was surprised, even the player, who ended up falling on the ice. To top it all off, the rivals recovered the puck and in a couple of seconds scored a goal on Stephan's team. Pool players also fail sometimes, and their mistakes can be so extraordinary that we even feel sorry for the player in the video. It would seem that a slight stroke would be enough to put the 8-ball in the hole.
Look at that!
Looks like the player did a perfect job, but only for a moment, because the ball immediately jumped back. Some experts say that the player is to blame because he didn't plan well and hit the ball too hard. But for those of us who don't know much about pool, this failed stroke is one of the most unfortunate in history. During a Diamond League race, Kenyan athlete Job Kenia failed epically. 800 meters is a rather treacherous distance because of its length. It can easily confuse an unexperienced athlete, and that's exactly what happened. At the beginning of the race, Kenia set such an incredible pace that he was well ahead of all the other runners. He probably believed he could beat his opponents without much effort since they were far behind him. But the effort made at the start of the race marked the difference at the end. In the last 100 meters, the Kenyan runner suddenly lost the lead and could not keep up anymore, while his rivals saved their strength for the end.
The winning time, 1:45.98. Taken by surprise. The race was a mess, Tim. Let's face it.
It's a shame. Do you think that Stephan, who couldn't hit the puck into the empty goal, is the only unlucky athlete in the world? No way! During a Serbian 4th Division match, a player whose name we haven't been able to find out also managed to fail just a few inches from the open goal. Taking advantage of the defender's and goalkeeper's mistake, the player seized the ball, ran towards the goal, and, when he was a couple of inches away, he kicked the ball over the bar. By the way, note the reaction of his teammate. The audience probably felt the same. Sometimes players put on a whole show before scoring a goal and get some instant karma. Soccer players are no exception. That's exactly what happened to Mario Balotelli when he was playing for Manchester City. In a friendly game against Los Angeles Galaxy, Balotelli blew his chance to score by wanting to show off in front of the crowd and his opponents. All he had to do was kick the ball and it would have been a perfect goal. But instead, the player decided to take a one-on-one opportunity with a back heel trick, of course with his back to the net.
Mario Balotelli looks set to come out.
Are you kidding me?
The result was disappointing. The ball slowly left the pitch, and you can imagine the coach's reaction. The next minute, Balotelli was substituted for James Milner. What can we say? It was definitely the player's fault. Scoring a goal from the other side of the hockey rink is a great achievement for any player. It would definitely be in the news or maybe even on Wikipedia. But in this game, the big goal never happened because Erik Johnson got in its way. Erik Johnson and his fantastic speed. Erik Johnson and his luck. Erik Johnson saving his team in the last second. For someone, this moment was very unfortunate. But on the other hand, it can be considered one of the most spectacular defense moves in the history of hockey. In competitions, when athletes need to run or ride a certain number of laps, they often make the same mistakes. They simply lose count, and you know how it ends. That's what happened at the Italian Motorcycle Championship. Ricardo Russo failed to count the number of laps and started celebrating victory 1 lap earlier, while his opponents continued to race.
Across the line here, you'll see that Russo, Florentino also just gapping Nacho for the time being. We're on the final lap. No, he's punching the air, he's celebrating, I think, and I think this race is still going.
Israeli athlete Lana Salpeter made a similar mistake in the 5,000-meter race during the European Athletics Championships. The athlete was in second place, and suddenly, she decided that the race was over, and she stopped. Although there was 1 lap to go, the audience tried to make her keep going, but when Salpeter realized her misjudgment, she rushed on, but her rivals managed to overtake her, and in the end, she finished 4th, losing almost 4 seconds to the 3rd place. But despite the misfortune, Lana broke Israel's record for this distance by 16 seconds. However, an hour later, after studying the videos, the judges ruled that the athlete had gone off the track and canceled her result, so she ended up without a medal and without a record.
It's going too hard here. Stefan with a lap to go. Salpeter thought she'd finish. Keep going. Oh, what a mistake. Chemtai Salpeter, a smile, a rueful smile on her face.
Generally, even before the race starts, it is more or less clear which athletes are the leaders and which ones are going to go home empty-handed. Normally, a few athletes compete for the medal, while the rest, where are they? Nobody watches them, but people should, because some athletes can reach the speed of light at the last moment. What was that? In the end, she snatched victory from the race leaders. No, seriously, how did she do it? Do you find golf boring? You probably think it's a sport where nothing happens. Or maybe it's just an entertainment for the elderly. Well, we're gonna prove you wrong and show you that golf also has moments of terrible luck that just make you lose your nerve. For example, in the final round of the Byron Nelson tournament in 2014, experienced golfer Podrick Harrington had an unexpected issue.
Moment to go. Check this one out.
He sent the ball right into the hole with a beautiful stroke. The ball hit the target, but then it jumped out and rolled off. If you listen carefully, you can even hear the characteristic sound. Anyway, Harrington had to make another shot to finish what he had started. Rules are rules, and the whims of the balls are not part of them. Another well-known golfer, Southgate, also had problems trying to get the ball into the hole. But this time, it was nature that decided to stand in the way. We're not kidding. Look, at the last moment, the wind suddenly moves a leaf, preventing the ball from entering the hole. Apparently, Matthew upset some Disney princess. As you can see, even golf can be full of emotions. All this professional golfer had to do was put the ball in the hole, but he was clearly not having a good day. Maybe the stars didn't align, maybe the wind blew in the wrong direction, or maybe the athlete ate something bad. Anyway, the distance was so short that even a rookie could have done this. Even a person who doesn't know anything about golf could have put the ball in the hole. What a shame, just a little more. Most silly situations in sport have something to do with people starting to celebrate too soon. Like, for example, in this basketball game, the team scores in the last seconds, the crowd cheers up, the players hug each other, but the celebration stops when the judges review the video. Did you see that? The time was up when the ball came out of his hands, so the last shot doesn't count.
No good! It's waved off! A miracle in Uptown!
And finally, another example of terrible luck caused by technology. Bowler Troy Walker was about to score 300 points and probably would have done it if it hadn't been for the pin setter that puts the pins in the right place.
Oh my God.
At the last moment, all of a sudden, the mechanism blocked the pins, and a fantastic shot was ruined. Walker tried again, because it had been a mechanical error, but left 3 pins standing. So he ended up with a total of 297 points. In the end, the bowler confessed that he was probably partly to blame for the incident. The bowler pressed the reset button for the lane next to him, but instead, his lane was reset. And victory was so close.
Psst, dude, are you looking for new technologies and great gadgets? Are your thoughts focused on the future? Do you love huge vehicles and can't imagine your life without robots around you? Then visit TechZone and you'll find all this and more. The link is in the description. You interested? Great.